So this is my work for strategic management about Ion. So the company we're going to talk about is Ion. It's an originally German company that was created in the 2000. Actually, you're making revenues at about 800 billion euros a year. However, their profits are negative. For example, in 2015, it were $6 billion negative. So this company is dedicated to electricity production and distribution, and also the production and distribution of natural gas. Some of its most acknowledged subsidiaries are Ion Rogas, Ion UK, and Ion Sverige. Moreover, they provide energy to 33 million customers in 30 different countries. This company belongs to the DAX stock, that is the major German company stock index, and the Dow Jones Global 2050. So they have split their business into two different business units that are Uniper for like fossil fuels and Ion for renewables. So what's the problem with this company? The problem is the negative profits, actually, and not being like the leader of the market. So what methodology have you used? We have used SWOT analysis, integrated environmental analysis versus view of the firm. But actually, the most interesting was the SWOT. Here we can see that Ion has had a huge amount of energy decoupled and electric customers, like their energy networks are huge, third offshore energy grids over the world, and stuff. So the weaknesses we have got, like the negative profit, is we have just already said, and also that the company mainly operates in Europe. In terms of opportunities, we got the fact that the trend energies that are like top nowadays. Everyone, like every company is asking for renewables, and every like individual as well. And we got the threats. Well, threats actually the price of this energies and government intervention, like the German regulatory body that want to ban the nuclear plants by 2022 and stuff. So actually, in terms of other analysis like the Porter liability analysis, the versus view of the firm, they generally tell too much information. So just about the fact that human resources and general administration gotta work like hard to achieve organizational objectives, and also they're in charge of hiring the right people, like making the right investments and stuff. So we should not forget as well that the most valuable asset that Ion has got its own experience and the organizational capabilities. So he got like the remarkable information about the analysis, and actually it's worth mentioning that the survey made to 22,000 citizens all over the world. 60% out of them really were willing to use renewables instead of polluting energies, and also 30% out of them was ready to pay extra for this energy. Now we're going to talk about the different approaches. The first approach is like focusing on nuclear energies for the while, and then go for the least exploited resource to be the main producer. So actually this alternative seems profitable in the short term, since Ion has already got like nuclear plants in Germany producing 8% of its energy portfolio. However, the German law poses a problem for this alternative, like since for 2022 so far, the nuclear plants in Germany gotta be shut down. So this strategy consists on over-exploding those nuclear plants before we close them. After 2022, Ion should find another country to move their production of nuclear energy to, or just like find the less exploded resource to make like green energy out of it. Actually, it entails a huge risk, since the exploitation of our resources could have been started by other energy giants. So Ion will actually not have any means of beating their rivals. Moreover, nuclear energy is not a field where Ion could like survive, because actually the rivals are much more experienced than him in this field. So the second approach is like the integrated tailored energy concepts, that this alternative contemplates the optimization of the energy consumption. This action will be totally aimed at satisfying customer needs, and that's based on the prosumer concept. This means that Ion should make a specifically tailored energy cost plans for each client. This way, customers will feel like sort of incorporated in the production process. So will feel the company much closer, and this will lead to higher consumer loyalty. However, this strategy does not imply a clear focus on future perspectives. So actually, it's not that profitable for Ion, because really want to know what to do in the future. And we got the third approach that is the most interesting one. This alternative contemplates the fact of getting rid of nuclear plants before they are banned. So through a rapid and progressive abandonment of its production, reducing its stake on the energy portfolio from 8 to 0. And then as soon as the nuclear energy is left behind, we should do the same with fossil fuel. But actually, in which renewable source of energy got Ian to focus? So these three alternatives seem profitable, but at least for a while. But we have decided to pick the third one. Now we gotta know in which natural research are we gonna base this on, but with some hints of the second one that are also interesting. So first we should choose Azers, in which Ian has previously invested, so as to benefit from previous experience, that it's our organizational capabilities. So as we want to beat our rivals, we should also take into account in which natural resource are these rival investing to become green, as we know that all our rivals are trying to make the change to renewables as soon as we are. So we don't really want to be the last movers. In addition, if competitors have more knowledge than us in a concrete file, they will beat us without making any efforts, and we actually don't really want that. So we're analyzing competitors. Electricité France is actually investing in hydropower, like it's being the leader hydraulic energy producer in Europe. And actually, they rely strongly on nuclear energy, operating in 58 reactors in total. And this will make their step forward to renewables quite slow, because actually they are not subject to German regulatory laws, so they do not really have to quit nuclear energies in the short term. Enel is operating into renewables, like it's focused on geothermal, and in fact owns the second biggest geothermal station of the world. So it makes it a natural resource in which you actually should invest. And RBA Power is focused mainly in hydropower and nuclear power. They operate 3 nuclear reactors in Germany and also 2 lignite-based plants, leaving hydropower with a small stake in its energy portfolio. And this innovation actually are all directed towards lignite, so they are not into renewables still. And moreover, they have to close down their nuclear stations by 2022, as Ian showed. Since they are German, and so in which natural resource do we gotta follow when base, like when power? Here after we should focus that Ian in what Ian is doing better than the competitors, and as we have said, hydraulics, geothermal, and nuclear energy are actually first enough to invest. So because our competitors got an advantage compared to us, so. And so they're not going to be as for a competitive advantage. However, Ian operates 30% of the London area, that it's the biggest offshore farm in the world. Moreover, they also operate 3 other offshore wind farms, and that's the reason why. And that's the reason why Ian is considered one of the most powerful wind energy producers in the UK. Ian also owns and operates other 16 onshore sites. This will be a factor to take into account in trying to find a competitive advantage in relation with competitors, as Ian already has got the experience of this field, meaning that it will be easier for them to specialize in it, as rivalry will be lower. If Ian finally achieves to manage a huge portfolio of wind farms, it could actually advance of the first mover, concretely like in offshore farms, as prices is going sharply down due to technological advancement, and other companies really regard them as profitable as they are. So this will mean that by the time nuclear plants are flooded in most countries, as it's happening in Germany, it will happen in the whole Europe, the ones whose energy portfolio depended mostly on nuclears will find it difficult to shut it down in the wind energy market, as you will be already established. Moreover, the London area is a national share with Dong Energy, and already having set contact with a powerful company can make it much easier for Ian to by one day create a synergy with them, like so they can create projects together and stuff. Customer-oriented policies that we have to talk about as a individual tailored energy concept. That the aim of this proposition is make an individual energy plan so that the customers receive appreciational quality from the firm and from customer-directed policies. Therefore, it seems undeniable that this change will be translated into high loyalty from the customers, meaning an assured income and market share for us, for Ian. And moreover, in an attempt to integrate customers in the production process, the firm and the customer culture wants a commitment to renewables. So those customers will be offered the installation of some panels at home, for example, from which Ian could earn a fair amount of money, like for the installation and for the maintenance and stuff. So moreover, the energy consumers are not using could be sold to Eon to get like discount fares, and therefore Eon could have a bigger supply of energy to sell to others who already do not have this system at home. And the aim of this strategy is confronting the fact that green energy is much more expensive than other energy, fossil fuel and nuclear. And in terms of numbers, it is obvious that the negative numbers Ian has been releasing for the past years are due to a huge investment in offshore wind farms. And actually, the proposed strategy does maintain those numbers for the short term, as bigger investment will be needed in order to substitute the 8% out of our energy portfolio that is made up by nuclears. So, however, in the long run, Iran will have already conquered the offshore wind energy market by the time competitors could react. So this means that they will already be leaders in the sector and could provide like competitive tariffs and huge amount of power to their customers, and therefore. The meaning of this is like sacrificing current numbers in order to achieve a competitive status in the future. Like if Ian is not really a first mover, doesn't achieve to get to be a first mover and leave nuclears behind before all of its rivals and focusing on one firms, they may end up having like too many competitors to deal with and like not much market share. So even also, the individual policies could help Eon to capture new customers due to reduction in prices and personalized policies. In addition, the average customer will like more bought to the firm through the panel system, as they will really depend on Eon for that purpose. And the customer turnover rate will decrease as there will be also, there will be a new cash inflow that is the maintenance and installation of the sun panels. The heart of the company should be the energy, energy and the customer-oriented policies, so that we can beat competitors and offer a competitive fare in a close future, so that we can be effective with both like the financially and with the customers. This is all. Thanks for watching.